Hey everybody, welcome back to the .hack GU Volume 1 Let's Play. This is Part 3. Haseo just killed my totally hilarious last episode thing. Basically, Haseo became a badass after getting killed his first day of playing. There's a time skip, and he's looking for a PK named Tri-Edge. And he found Tri-Edge, and Tri-Edge kicked his ass. And if that wasn't enough, he messed up his character, and now he's back to level 1. And that's hilarious, because I don't like Haseo, and that's just funny to me.
Even the emails I got from Shino.
Having all his emails sucks, though. Although, I'm not really sure why his emails would be deleted. I'm not really sure how this email thing connects to a video game. But looks like our buddy Ovan has something mysterious to say, and he sounds a lot like, oh god, what's that guy's name? I don't like the Matrix, so I don't know. But, you know, the red pill and the blue pill, take this one and go further down the rabbit hole or whatever. I was gonna read that, but now it's gone. So if you really want to know Ovan's poetic email, you can pause the video and check it out. But I'm gonna try to read some of these emails that I get, and I'll go into this later. But basically there is like an email system. There's like a news site. You get information about this the outside fictional world, outside of the world. And there's a forum. I'm gonna go into the news and the forum stuff in a couple of episodes. Most of that is actually gonna be its own episode. I'm not gonna be doing that like again in this LP, but I did kind of want to show it off a little bit because I think it's one of the more unique things about the .hack games in general. Because it's not really terribly necessary to play the game or to know so much of the stuff that happens in the forums, but it does kind of help you see into this world a little bit better. Not the like just the online game, the world, but like the fictional world, the fictional real world that they live in.
Why is my equipment different? What the? I'm back at level 1?
Huh.
What about my items? My member list?
You don't have friends. You don't have a member list.
My equipment? Gone. It's all gone. My whole character has been completely reformatted.
Hey, did you see that guy just now?
I know he sounds like a little distressed, but I'm not gonna lie, he's kind of taking this a little well. I don't know. I'd imagine someone as moody as Haseo is would have been throwing more of a hissy fit about this. I shouldn't say hissy fit. I mean, he did grind all the way up to level 133. I would be pretty mad if I was playing a game and then all that just got erased, but I don't know. I'll give Haseo credit. He's taking it fairly well. So this part is
What that guy's job was? I don't think I've seen a design like that.
I didn't look that closely.
I saw him head towards the harbor. Maybe I'll go get a closer look.
So this part of the game kind of takes you through the root town, Makanu. It kind of like leads you, having you follow Ovan to wherever, and it kind of takes you through most of the important places in Makanu. And Makanu is like really big. It's kind of unnecessarily big. Like, setting wise, it's nice. Like, I appreciate they made it feel like a big town, but like you can see there's like not really a lot of people running through it, and there's you can see a couple of icons on the map.
Oh my god, that player looks
Um,
really hot.
Really? I thought he looked kind of creepy. So, you like guys that look like Matt?
You can tell by that one line that guy is totally into that girl, and he's
I think you went down that
gonna
alley.
go home and change into Ovan's gear. But there's a couple of icons on the map, like that little house and that green dot. Those are different things you can interact with, but like it takes a while to just get everywhere. It's... I don't know. Nakano was also the first town in the original series, and I don't quite like this one as much. I still like it, but I mean, there was just something like beautiful about the first game's Nakano. There was something beautiful about a lot of the first game's towns in general.
Damn, it's those player killers.
It's not much of a challenge when they're so pathetically weak.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Fighting those noobs is making us all rusty.
Man, these guys.
That rogue that we fought the last time, he really wasn't that bad.
He kicked your ass.
You mean we're going after him next?
Hell yeah. There is no way in hell I can back down after what happened last time.
Bordeaux is the only one of these three that's like remotely interesting. Those other two guys are just basically
Why do I have to hide from bastards like them?
weird lackey and silent lackey. You've seen them before in other shows or games. You've seen Bordeaux too, but at least her personality is just a little more interesting. She plays a more interesting role in the next volume.
What the hell's going on?
Oh boy, here we go.
Gaspard, are you okay?
Gaspard. I cannot believe someone chose the name Gaspard, looked at it,
Are you
and said,
okay?
yeah, I want to use this name.
Hey, are you a new player?
You're a noob?
Oh man, that word again.
Oh. Hey, I'm sorry. I guess I must have scared you, huh?
Hell no, I'm not a noob. I'm the terror of death.
Shut up, Haseo. You're such a fucking nerd.
What?
What? Wait, are you talking about the famous PKK Haseo?
Oh, you're a player killer. I knew I'd heard about him somewhere before. But I'm pretty sure the player's name was Haseo.
Are you sure?
Definitely. Yep.
I don't think it's intentional, but what I really like about Gaspard in like this first series of events that he's in, he he belittles Haseo. I don't think he means to, but like,
You'll have to gain more
oh
levels
boy,
before
you're
you
this
can
famous
access
PKK, but I don't even remember how your name is pronounced.
If you're a noob, we'll be happy to teach you the basics of this game.
Actually, Syllabus and I are part of the Noob Support Guild called Canard.
He's so proud of that.
It's a guild that teaches noobs all they need to know to become top
My
players.
god, please stop saying
We're
noob.
actually pretty famous, you know.
Oh yeah, I need to give you our member addresses first. Here.
Aw, Haseo made a friend. Haseo made 2 friends. Sorry if that last part was, that last cut was a little weird. My controller turned off for whatever reason at that point. Like, it's a PS2 controller. I know it can't turn off, but nothing was responding on it, so I had to unplug it and plug it back in again.
I guess I'll just hang out with them for a little while longer.
This is something I don't get about Haseo, because, like, from
It doesn't mean that they'll
From what we know about him so far, you'd think he'd be too good to be hanging out with them, but like since he lost all his power now, it's like, let me use these guys, so strength in numbers or whatever, I don't know. Like, I feel like Haseo would be still, like, so pissed off about what happened, but now he's like, yeah, fine, give me a tutorial again. I'm the terror of death, but, you know, whatever. Humor yourselves if you want.
Chaos Gate.
So, even though the town is super unnecessarily big, they do a useful thing and give you warp points throughout the town, so you don't need to go running to each and every place in Makanu. You can use these green warp points to go to pretty much like every central area you need to go to in the town. So I don't know, that's a good thing inside of a bad thing, I guess. I kind of wish the warp point for this dome area was inside the dome, though. Because, like, that's all you're gonna do when you warp to the dome, is just go inside this building. It's a small thing, but, you know. Yeah, one of the weird things about this, and not just GU, but .hack in general, is these characters, and you'll see this more on the forum, these characters will just have, like, random area names, like, ready to give out for just leveling up. And again, it's so ridiculously easy to level up in this game. It's like, I don't know why they give you areas specifically to level up. I feel like it would have been better or cooler or something if they just said, let's go level up, and you get to, you know, play around with the area creation more. Shut up, Haseo. Stop being a nerd.
So you're saying you're really the PKK Haseo, the terror of death?
I didn't say that. Now, I just went to a black screen.
No way! I've never heard of a bug quite like that. Wow!
Not lying.
Okay, but still.
Gaspard, that's what he's role-playing.
Oh boy.
Oh, now I get it. That's some really complicated character background.
It's not role-playing.
Don't be embarrassed.
I'm not role-playing, God!
Just relax.
Really the terror of death? I leveled up to 133 to save my girlfriend, God! It would be fun that if, some more of the tropey characters in this game were actually role-playing as a trope, but I don't think that's real. I don't know.
Okay, maybe we should start by telling you about the skill
Oh,
tree.
man.
I
This...
already know about that.
But how could you know? You're just a noob.
I read the manual! Jeez, and I'm told you I'm not the noob, I'm the terror of death!
Why don't we give it a shot?
Okay, come on, Haseo. Let's go fight the monsters.
Don't forget to use the skill trigger.
Man, I love how they're, like, talking down to you like you're a baby. It's so good. So when I first played this game, back in 2006, and I was still super into anime, I wasn't really a fan of Syllabus and Gaspard that much, because I thought they were dumb and boring, and not as cool and edgy as the other characters, but since I'm not really all too much into anime anymore, and I got super annoyed with a ton of tropes that anime and JRPGs have, I've kind of come to appreciate having two players like Syllabus and Gaspard
Know how to use the
in the
skill
game.
trigger?
Oh yeah. I was waiting for Rengeki to use it, and
Second, that's all.
I didn't know about this dialogue when he first used it.
During battle.
It's like, I just forgot! God! Leave me alone!
It's really easy once you get the hang of it. So next time, remember to press the R1.
But, I can kind of appreciate having just, like, normal people hanging around in this game.
You can stop the enemy's attack.
Because even though they're a little boring,
Good luck mastering it.
I don't know. Sometimes in this game, I'd rather take a little boring characters over,
But hey,
over-the-top or predictable personalities that we'll see later on. Although there is one over-the-top character that I do find genuinely amusing still, but we'll get to him. Oh, don't worry, we'll get to him. This game doesn't really have any optional characters. Everyone you have in your party in this game, you're gonna have to recruit at some point. In the first series, there were a few people that you didn't really have to deal with at all. Like, I mean, like, recruiting-wise. You don't have to deal with anybody at all, really. But... yeah, I think in all the volumes, you, except for maybe the post-game stuff in Volume 3, I think all of the characters, that join your party play some role in the story. Whereas in the first series, I want to say like maybe like half of them, or maybe even like a third of them, play a central role in the story, and the others are just like random people you meet. You know, not to build the first series up on a high horse again, I'll say this too. The first series had did have some tropey characters, but I didn't think they were as quite as obnoxious. They were still pretty mellow compared to this game.
Hey, come on! Let's keep going! Are you even hearing anything I'm saying to you?
Alright, so here's this thing here. In the dungeons, well, actually in any area at all, you'll find these little creatures called chim-chims, and you kick them. Yeah, they exist just to be kicked, and you'll get their life force. So that's disturbing, but you actually need this to open up some locked doors and activate some other types of machinery too. It's kind of a mix. Nah, I'm just gonna say, I just don't like the Chim Spheres. I feel like to stop and grind for them, which I guess you don't really have to do all that often because, well, because that thing we saw there only gave you 3, but there are some other ones that will just give you like 10 at once, and then you'll also find some chims that give you 10 Chim Spheres altogether as well. So I guess it's not too big a deal if you just kind of go after the containers that have a lot of them. But yeah, I was actually a little worried at first because of the like I completely forgot about the Chim Spheres, and when I went to that thing for the first time and only got 3 of them, I'm like, good god, how often am I gonna have to grind for these things? But thankfully that's not really a case too much in this volume. So you don't have to worry about any kind of boring stuff like that. We have repetitive battles to take care of boring stuff like that, which after like the beginning sections of this game, I'm gonna start cutting battles out a little more, just to kind of speed things up. But yeah, I guess we'll figure out what happens to this trio of idiots the next time we're here for .hack GU Volume 1, Part 4.